Hey guys, Buff and Game back today bringing out a video, and today we're going over Escape from Tarkov and the new patch trailer. So this new trailer itself is going to bring in the new map and new weapons. This is patch 12.12, and this is going to bring in the new map Lighthouse. So Lighthouse here, you can see in the trailer in the background, looks like a really awesome map. Looks like a mix of resort and some other maps combined there, but it looks really beautiful. It's going to be a lot of fun to have a new map. Along with that, we have some new weapons, which we'll get into here in a little bit, as well as a lot of new optics. I see some new grenades, things like that. It's hard to tell specifically what a lot of things are until the patch notes and things like that come out later this week. It seems like the wipe is going to be on December 13th, which I believe is going to be on Monday. So either the 12th into the 13th should be the wipe. I don't think it's been officially announced at the time of recording this video, but the map, again, looks like a lot of fun. Like I said, a mix of kind of like resort, woods, shoreline, things like that. So, or shoreline and woods, I would say. And it looks like a lot of fun, a lot of open environment, as well as a lot of cover and new environments. So this is going to be a lot of fun to get into a new map and be able to play something different. And now here on the channel, I don't play that much Tarkov, just because Tarkov is one of those games that you really need to grind for. And I just simply don't have the time to play it as much as I really would want to get to the point where I can get flea market and get in and really make a lot of nice weapon builds here. So pre-wipe, I'll be doing a little bit of things here when everything's really cheap from all the traders, but it will be really cool to jump in. I definitely will be jumping in here after the wipe and playing on the fresh account again. I didn't play at all the past wipe, but I did play a lot before that and got myself up to a pretty decent level. Was able to unlock a lot of things, but this past wipe I just didn't simply feel like playing because I just didn't have the time, and there wasn't anything new to really bring me back to really play that much. But now we have new map, new weapons, and now some of the new weapons that we're going to be seeing here are the Scar H and the Scar L. So that being the heavy and the light version, or the Mark 17 for the Scar H, that firing 7.62 by 51 millimeter NATO, and then we have the Mark 16, which is the Scar Light variant of the Scar, firing 5.56 by 45 NATO. So there's going to be a lot of, I'm really curious, because if we look at some of the ammo conversions or the ammo available for both of those calibers, if we look at 5.56 by 45 NATO, we have obviously like M99 being the top tier for the 5.56 rounds, and then things like M80, M61 for the 7.62 by 51 millimeter NATO rounds. So really curious to see how the Scar Light performs and a lot of the attachments that are going to be available for that version of the weapon. Is it just going to have a 30 round magazine? Is it going to be a 40 round or a 50 round conversion? For the Scar Heavy, there definitely should be the 50 round drum conversion, because it should be essentially the same drum available for the DSA 58 here in game. So I think that'll be a good option for that. Now, as far as different attachments for those weapons, I'm really curious to see what they bring into this game for those weapons. Is it going to be a weapon that you can really edit and customize and create different conversions out of it? Because if you look at the Scar, obviously it's a very modular assault rifle, and now they're bringing in both calibers. Now, if they bring in different barrel options, bipods, different scopes available for this weapon, I'm sure, hopefully, for the Scar H or the Mark 17, we can turn that into, or convert it into, the Mark 20 SSR, which would be the sniper variant of the Scar, obviously with an extended barrel, over the Mark 17 of the Scar H, which is going to be coming to game. Probably a standard version is what we're going to get with the 16-inch barrel. So if we get different barrels, handguards, we can extend that out to a 20-inch barrel, throw on the buttstock that we need for the Mark 20 SSR, and go ahead and throw on a sniper scope, bipod, and we'll have a Mark 20 SSR conversion from the Scar H. But in-game, in the gameplay trailer, it looks like I'm only seeing really the Scar Light or the Mark 16 variant of it. It's hard to tell. They have a couple different shots of the Scar here in-game. There is one shot here in the trailer at night, and it's hard to tell what variant of that is, just because they look identical. The only difference here being really the magazine curvature and obviously the internal workings of the rifle. So it looks like maybe that night shot of the Scar that you'll see in the trailer could be the Scar Heavy variant, but again, impossible to really tell, especially because you can't read the caliber on the side because it's nighttime. But you do have some day shots of the Scar, and you can read the calibers on the left-hand upper receiver of the rifle there, and it clearly shows 5.56 by 45 NATO, meaning it is the Mark 16 or the Scar Light. Now, we also do have the, what looks like to be a new designated marksman rifle, or a semi-automatic sniper rifle, that being the G28. Now the G28, it appears to be G28. It could also be the H&K 417, which is the bigger brother of the 416, which would also make sense because we do have the HK 416 here in Tarkov. So it would also make sense to have the HK 417, which is a 7.62 by 51mm NATO designated marksman rifle variant of the weapon. However, it can also be converted to like an assaulter, short barrel, things like that. Similar usage as the SCAR, actually. So if it is a 417, that's going to be a weapon that, again, interesting to see what kind of conversions we can do with that, if any, different barrel lengths. But what it looks like is a G28. They're kind of difficult to tell just by the one shot we have here in game, but it does appear to be more so of a G28 that we're seeing here in the trailer. And again, the G28 is developed by Heckler & Koch, and it does fire that 7.62 by 51mm NATO cartridge, same as the SCAR, same as the HK417, same as the DSA-58 in game. So the G28, again, this was developed after the 417, so it's kind of an advanced version. They made some improvements from it, and this is issued to the German military currently. G28, it's a very modular marksman rifle. Picatinny rails, very beautiful to have custom scopes with top-mounted deltas, things like that for close quarters engagement. It can go full auto in real life as well as semi-auto. So again, this is a really nice rifle. Now, if you follow my channel from Call of Duty, this is something that was rumored to be added, supposed to be added to, I think it was season 3 or 4 of Call of Duty Modern Warfare and into Warzone, and that unfortunately never came. We did see the G28 back in, I believe, in one of the previous Call of Duty games, but G28, one of my favorite marksman rifles. It'll be really good to see this DMR put into Tarkov, and again, putting it in there with things like the other marksman rifles, like we have the Mark 14, or as it is the civilian variant, the M1A1, and we do have some other marksman rifles in the game as well. But again, the G28 looks like it also has a custom scope. Have to see what the buttstock options are and the barrel lengths available for this, bipods, if we have the grip pod, things like that would be awesome. That's another thing for the SCAR, where we have the grip pod available for this. Would be awesome if we have the grip pod, different barrels. I'm really excited to see what you can do with these weapons when we get in and can unlock them, or I guess pick them up and buy them from the traders. As well as we have a lot of different optics. I see a couple different aim points in there, maybe some other Weaver sights. It also looks like we have some new grenades, and there's also some sliding mechanics in game now that we can see in the trailer. So it'll be interesting to see how all this plays out. I'm really excited to get in on the wipe and play. I'll be covering a little bit more Tarkov here on the channel, hopefully during this wipe. Again, this is a hard game to cover just because you really need to grind a lot to get some, in my opinion, meaningful content. I don't want to bring you guys content of me just day one with really not anything going on. I like to have the flea market unlocked and be able to do things with my weapons and bring in different gear and afford things. So until I really get my account leveled up and get more money in my account for my traders, unlocks, things like that, and can buy things, I probably will be a little bit silent on the game, but I'll be covering here and there as much as I can, and then hopefully we'll do a lot of streaming of this over Buffmas here coming up later this month. So let me know what you guys think. This is the new Tarkov map as well as weapons here for the 12.12 update. Let me know what you guys think down below. Till next time, Buffner Gaming out.